Now wait a minute.
I just want to say that to prepare for this, I have been watching Mark Zuckerberg testify in front of Congress, and I am ready, and I am here, and I am professional, and it's a real pleasure to be in front of you guys today. Yep.
All right, let's get started.
Could you clarify that, please?
When I step into the voting booth, I have to mentally, physically, spiritually prepare myself. And I have a mantra.
A mantra.
Because sometimes voting can be easy to lose your confidence.
Not confident at all.
It can be easy to lose the things that are keeping you grounded. It can be easy to lose your core values and tenets. But when I step into the voting booth, I want to believe. I want to believe. It's time to fucking vote. It's time to vote. Vote.
This election, which will be, I do truly believe, the most important election of our lifetime.
This is the most important election of our lifetime.
This is the most important election, don't you? You hear that?
This is the most important election in our lifetime.
I certainly think it's the most important election of my lifetime.
This is the most important election of our times.
Politicians say every time, this is the most important election. This one's really that important.
Go right now. Vote. What are you doing? What? You're not voting right now. I could read your mind right now, voter at home. You gotta constitutionalize.
Gotta vote. It's time to vote. It's the most important election of our lives. I'm Kennedy Cooper, and you need to vote right now. As always, I have Andrew Fields. I was almost going to call you, I was really struggling to not call you I know too many Andrews. So I was like, Andrew, and then my name started going through the Rolodex of like 75 last names.
Yeah, as long as you don't call me Andrew Como. Like I told you, Kennedy, the other day I was putting my full name on an online form, and when I put Andrew, it auto-filled Como or auto-suggested Como, and I just did it all right then and there.
Yeah. You can't come back from that, to be honest. As always, Andrew Fields in the house, in-house statistician. And this week we have been invaded. The voting booth has been crashed by the illustrious, enjoyable, adorable Upnerd podcast. What's up, nerd?
Oh, you got it.
Darn it, you took the joke from me. I was going to ask, what's up, nerd?
That was the whole point of the name.
That was the whole point.
That's all we got. There's no entertainment value left after
There's been like 2 people who have actually done that. We've been doing this for 2 years. So,
I thought that was obvious.
I thought it was so obvious. I'm sorry that you aren't getting that all the time.
That's okay.
Oh, well.
Mm-hmm. Hello, I'm Abby.
I'm the uneven flow.
Mm-hmm. And we'd like to welcome you to this voting booth podcast.
I do have to say, just to interject like real life, which I'm going to try not to do just for a second, we are both Canadians.
We are.
And I will say the name of the show is the most important election of our lives. Mm-hmm. And it's terrific to be on an illustrious show with somebody from the side that apparently just went into the voting booth, jammed the crayon straight up their nose, and then took the rest of the box and just chased it with that.
Listen.
And then forgot to check anything and just kind of left.
They don't have a parliamentary system down there, all right?
There's only 2 parties there. No, I know. Yeah.
It's a football game. They win or they lose.
It must be really interesting to live in a country with royalty. I'm very curious what that's like.
They're on our money.
Yeah, we basically ignore them, honestly.
Okay, to be
By
fair,
the way, I'm sorry, I wasn't clear. I'm talking about Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh
no, it's Katy Perry. Oh, I see you're not up on your variety this week. Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, aka Prime Minister Dreamboat, newly divorced, is apparently dating Katy Perry. Did I call him Justin Perry?
Yeah, close enough.
You know, in Mexico, it's tradition when presidents are no longer a president, they live a quiet life and are no longer in public, and we kind of ignore them. I envy that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jesus Christ, you guys should have done that in 2020, huh?
But
Look.
he's so dreamy.
Okay, look, to be fair to me, I live in Illinois, so my true ruler is J.B. Pritzker, baby. Okay?
What I enjoy
Yes, we
about-
know who that is.
What I enjoy about the ebb and flow of Canadian and U.S. politics is that up there in Canada, y'all keep looking at the can of glue like, should I guzzle some of that? But then you keep looking at us and we're guzzling the glue and it's obviously not going well. And you're like,
Oh God, it was so awesome.
you just keep coming back from the brink every time.
Oh, it's great. As each of you are single, one at a time, being marched off into the ice chambers, I want all of you to think to yourselves, well, at least we stopped Canada from making the same mistake in their election.
I'm sorry, I like you, but I don't like you that much. I wish we didn't do this to ourselves. I like Canadians, I still do. I've been at some of the anti-Trump protests, and I've even waved the Canadian flag in. You shouldn't be the 51st state, and Donald Trump should shut up about that. But no, I wish we weren't doing this to ourselves.
Yeah,
also
we wish it too,
by the way.
to be honest.
Anyways, I don't want us to
We
get too
jest.
far
Anywho.
in. Kennedy, do you think it's time for them to say where they can be reached, just in case our viewers don't go through the entire episode?
You do that right at the beginning, huh? Not the end, so that if
We do both.
we don't know if we've embarrassed ourselves yet.
Yes.
Send hate mail too.
Yeah.
I really hate to tell y'all this. There are people out there that don't finish podcasts. I haven't come to terms with this. I'm upset a lot.
What is a podcast?
Yeah. But because of that, I like to give folks a chance to promote their work early in the show. And then we'll circle back and you can have a longer plug too. But why don't you say something nice about the lovely show Upnerd?
We are Upnerd Podcasts. We're on Upnerd Podcasts.
With an S.
.captivate.fm.
Oh.
You can find us there, but I mean, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on all the fun stuff, all the things the kids are into. iTunes very popular with the kids today, of course. Oh God, I'm old. Anyway, we're on to Gmail to reach us, Upnerd Podcasts
With an S.
at gmail.com.
Because
You
it's
can find us on Blue Sky, upnerdpodcast.bsky.social. Abby is upnerdabby.bsky.social. You can find us on Instagram, Upnerd Podcasts, and on
it's actually
YouTube.
Abby Upnerd. It's actually Abby Upnerd because it was weird.
Yes,
was
you renamed
real
us
weird.
Abby Upnerd. To be fair, you do the Instagram stuff because I'm too old.
It was real weird interacting with celebrities as a
With the
brand
youngins.
account.
What's up, nerd?
It's very,
There we
it's
go.
very. How do you do, fellow celebrities?
We have 2 bi-weekly shows we do. In between each, we do a variety every week. But the shows are, there's Fine, You Pick, which one of us picks a movie, and then we alternate. And essentially, it's a way to, honestly, we all watch movies, right? And we all have movies that our significant other has not seen. And so it's a way to kind of sucker them into watching it.
Our first one was Highlander 2, so that should give you some ideas.
Highlander 2.
You
But
know,
like
you know what? They told me there could only be one, and yet we're talking Highlander 2. Checkmate, liberals.
there's 5 now, and they each seem to progressively get worse to a certain extent, which is impressive. Like at a certain point, how far down can you go? But anyway.
And then there's top 3, bottom 3, where we watch the top 3 episodes of a podcast and the bottom 3 episodes of a podcast.
Of a podcast? I think you mean of a TV show.
Senator, if I may be able to
So anyway,
retake that.
Yeah, we watch as IMDb ranked the top 3 episodes of a show and then the bottom 3 episodes of a show. We talk about the fact that IMDb is largely wrong, and then we lament the fact that it is the worst way to watch any
really
television show.
It really is. We made mistakes.
It was a terrible idea.
It's very fun, but don't do that.
These are shows that you don't have experience with in general, right? This is what I've gathered.
Sometimes it depends. It can be shows that we've watched a million times. Sometimes it's shows we've never seen. Sometimes it's shows that one of us has seen, but the other one hasn't. a lot of the time, frankly, it's stuff that I don't even remember anymore. Like we did Lost, and I forgot how much of that I had just completely like blanked out of my mind.
Neither one of us saw Under the Dome. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
X-Files. We did X-Files.
We did X-Files.
And I mean, that was a trip.
We did X-Files.
Exactly one podcast you did at X-Files.
Funny enough, I was just gonna mention. Funny
There will
enough,
always be one podcast you do X-Files.
Real early too.
you brought up X-Files as something you wanted to talk about today.
I don't remember that happening, Senator.
I lied. You'll be doing X-Files on more than one podcast episode, just not your own.
The X-Files was a topic.
It was
that y'all brought up as something to discuss.
We flipped a coin. It was either going to be this or Star Trek: The Next Generation. We flipped a coin.
I was with Star Trek in general.
You couldn't decide, so I was like,
orders. Yeah, X-Files, the 1990s series that aired on the Fox television network before they were the preeminent news station of our time.
A little known fact is before it was called the X-Files, it was called the Twitter Files.
Yeah. Oh,
Continue. Continue.
Oh.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun because I have listened to a number of your podcasts, and I'm prepared. I am prepared for this.
I did listen to a little of your show, but to be honest, I really was not sure how to describe it. I was like, "There's a lot going on here."
It's
I like all of it.
2 weekly shows, 2 variety in between, but essentially we come out with an episode every week, which is great for our physical and mental health. But we love it. We just hit 100 episodes a couple weeks ago. It's starting to take off, and we're thrilled to be here. Actually, it's nice. We're trying to reach out to. Apparently, the trick to having friends as an adult is having a podcast. So we're just happy to meet like-minded people. We are a positive podcast overall. I know we're a little bit more acerbic here, but a lot of that's going to get cut out in editing, right? So I'm going to give you a couple of clean audio things.
Yeah, you're gonna make it sound good, right?
Links. Listen. The editor is constantly putting cricket sounds and boos after what I say. Like, it is up to the one we worship, known as the editor. Everything we say is up to her holy grace.
And don't you ever forget it.
And might I say, that blue scarf really matches her eyes. It's stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I've ever seen a more intelligent looking sweater in my life.
But yeah, Abby's a huge fan of the X-Files. The X-Files, aka Joe Rogan, the series before he
what a weird
was Joe Rogan.
What a weird.
I'm just asking questions. Mulder was just asking questions.
What a weird. Can we talk about how it took me until I was 39 years old to realize that Fox Mulder was named after the Fox network? You know how long I've been watching this show? Hi, I'm your X-Files expert, Abby.
I'm glad you went with the X-Files because we're actually going to do Star Trek in a couple of weeks with somebody else. So it's kind of convenient that you picked this for us.
Let's just say sometimes our viewers at home were born yesterday and they're already voting. So let's describe the premise and then talk about why you like the X-Files.
Yeah, so the X-Files is a science fiction drama mystery thriller kind of show that
I believe on Disney Plus it's also categorized as a buddy cop comedy. So, but it is kind of correct. It is kind of the original buddy.
I'm angry,
duo.
but I don't know what to say exactly.
Does ACAB include the X-Files people?
Well, that's an excellent question.
They're not
Senator.
really cops, though. They're FBI.
I mean,
they're working for cash now.
Oh god. Oh god.
Eyes and biggin.
I think does ACAB include Mulder and Scully is actually one of the core questions at the center of the show.
But, I apologize. I interrupted. Yes, you are correct. The X-Files is a cop drama, but it's also horror and it's also science fiction, and it is the X-Files. It is a genre on its own. There are things that have come after it that will forever be compared to the X-Files.
But ACAB has to include Mulder now. That's the problem, right?
We're gonna. If you think I have not prepared for these questions to be asked,
Mulder. Like I said, I made the joke earlier. Mulder's the original Joe Rogan, only asking questions, but really only wants to find stuff that enforces Mulder's worldview. He's not interested in the non-mysteries.
So the nice thing about the X-Files is that it's really got high production values. So that if you're somebody who enjoys the medium of television, I think we were speaking to Ella. Everybody's got different names online, so but I think I've been speaking with your producer, who looks wonderful, just as wonderful as the editor if they are also not editing. Wonderful person, very smart, very good. And they are watching.
Sucks.
They are watching season 1, right? And it's very 90s, but the production values are so extraordinary, and it really kind of changed history in a lot of ways.
It's from an era when television still trusted us. Like,
kind
the
of.
X-Files doesn't spell everything out. The characters aren't constantly announcing their every motive. A lot of scenes are kind of quiet in the show, actually. Like, comparative to modern television, it's low on dialogue a lot of the time. Characters trail off, they cut each other off, they do stuff that just... It's easy to sort of forget just how much we're losing that in modern media, because now everything is designed to be, not everything, not literally everything, but a lot of media is designed to be watched while you're also scrolling, like looking at pictures of war and stuff like that on your phone. And, so the characters are just like constantly like, I'm gonna head into the next room with my gun out. I'm walking at a moderate pace.
The great part with X-Files is you can watch that in real time because they brought it back recently.
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
Yeah, I did want to make a little bit of a disclaimer because they did a revival, I believe, beginning in 2016 and then another one in 2018, because why not? If you only know the X-Files from that,
I'm sorry.
A little bit. It is very different. You will enjoy the original X-Files.
Like, my understanding of X-Files is I was child, and I haven't watched it since growing up, but my dad loved the X-Files. My dad absolutely loved, so I got bits and pieces of
Everybody
it.
loved the X-Files. Everyone. It's a global phenomena.
What if they brought it back without Vince Gilligan, who we've now learned writes phenomenal television over and over again? They stripped out everything that was interesting. They then wrote a season that was so bad they had to decide it was all a dream. And then they just reset it for a final year.
Yeah.
What if we did that?
Yeah.
You know what? That sounds like peak writing.
Best TV show of all time.
It was not.
It's on AFI's top 100. So X-Files.
They really tarnished the reputation that once relatively, I won't say entirely sterling, because the later seasons of the original run are confusing and a little bit, you have to have a lot of buy-in. But
okay, so you groaned at my joke earlier, but I am going to be referring to those bad revivals as Twitter files. So the X-Files are still great television. It's the new Twitter files shit they tried doing that ruined the series. I'm going to make a distinction.
That's truer than you know. I don't want to.
As an historian, you are very correct. However, I think that as we proceed, you'll be able to see the genesis of this happening far further on as we get into the new millennium, and as the X-Files crosses that border between the 1990s and the 2000s. You're going to see that the change happening.
Change I can believe in, baby.
Yeah, it was real bad for a while.
I'm a Sonic fan. I'm used to real bad. I don't know what to say.
So X-Files.
Honestly, it was tough to decide what else we would talk about today, because the X-Files, I mean, first of all, it's an iconic genre-changing, genre-defining TV show, like we've been discussing, basically kind of set at least the modern standard of Monster of the Week. There was like a concept of Monster of the Week before the X-Files, but like every
concept of a
Monster of the
plan.
Week show that has come after the X-Files is the X-Files. So that's, you have that aspect. But also the X-Files is this precursor to so many of our political situations. Watching it now is a little surreal. It's still enjoyable. But watching the 90s X-Files, it feels kind of like everyone's like these crackpot characters now. Like that's
Yeah.
like,
Remember when conspiracy theories were fun and harmless?
Remember when King of the Hill first came out and Dale was, the whole thing was, oh, these silly conspiracy theories, but in the revival, he was the same. Everybody else changed, and they pretty much worship him as a source of news now.
I kind of, yeah.
The character didn't change. Everybody around him changed. Now he's considered this great person, knowledgeable person.
No, that's great.
And now if we did a show, Mulder would be injecting himself with horse dewormer on a daily basis before every episode, and then he would walk off and try to bust into the basement of every pizza joint that's near FBI headquarters.
Mulder
we did a top 3.
Doing all the same stuff that billionaire that drinks his son's blood does. He'd be...
Actually, you know what? I heard about that,
drinking?
I heard about that, though. At least that billionaire is like doing it for science, and he's like publishing his results. Like
that's not how you do science.
Like he's trying to live forever, right? It's actually not a bad X-Files episode right there.
Hey y'all, I'm sorry that I keep busting in here, but I didn't know how else to explain this. It's at this point that Brandon, who none of us have seen in like months, just walked in the door in a suit, smoking a Marlboro, and just sat down and just joined the conversation. We all kind of just went with it. I mean, it was weird. Anyways, back to the show.
Well, as long as he's keeping good documentation, then there's absolutely no problem with anything that could be, a quote unquote affront to nature. It's fine.
But that's how science gets done.
Just keep that wiki updated.
That's a good point, Brandon.
Yeah. They're rebooting the X-Files. Ryan Coogler. I would bet that there's plenty to be told about the life of it. Like there's plenty to be told about the life of an FBI agent right now.
I have opinions on this, and I cannot wait to share them. So, this reboot that's definitely happening, but it's absolutely never going to happen.
Oh, there's another X-Files reboot coming out. Not just
there's another one. Yeah.
Allegedly, they are.
I want to believe
teasing us so hard, but the problem is there is absolutely no way during this administration, and very probably for a couple of years afterwards, while y'all, literally tear down parts of the White House and put them back up again. There is absolutely no way that this property that is owned by Fox, which is now owned by Disney, which has already had to capitulate to the current administration, there is not a snowball's chance that a show that was predominantly about thinking critically,
science,
corruption in authority, science, women as human beings, there is absolutely no way.
Women having jobs.
There is no way that this happens. It's not going to happen. Number one. Number two, I think Chris Carter, who is the original guy who came up with this idea, got to give him props for that. And then just kind of got lucky and hired people who were better than he was at everything else.
Aforementioned Vince Gilligan.
Yeah, no, I mean, he hired Vince Gilligan in season 2. That was his first TV role. But he had, Howard Gordon and Glenn Morgan and a whole bunch of other guys who went on to have careers and then come back for the revival. And then we saw how much Vince Gilligan was really probably running the show because he didn't come back. But Chris Carter appears to have this extraordinary sweetheart deal where I think he owns the X-Files. I don't think that the X-Files can be made without his input in some way. And it was Summer of X-Files here because it just got to that point where we are doing YouTube videos of all of our past episodes, and it was time to do the X-Files one. So I was doing some research and so on and so forth, and I learned a lot about stuff going on behind the scenes. Chris Carter, David Duchovny, famously feuding for money. But reading between the lines and some of the lawsuits, they gave Chris Carter TV shows to make him happy. He was running Millennium for a while when the X-Files was in its heyday because he was distracted by Millennium and he couldn't really mess up the X-Files too much because he wasn't there. He had Harsh Realm. Everybody remember Harsh Realm? He had The Lone Gunman. But they are giving him all of this stuff, and you don't see that. When we talk about these reboots, everybody has to talk to Chris Carter first. There is no way that this happens without his involvement, and as I have learned recently, and also re-going through a lot of the episodes where he is no longer distracted by other shows, and he's very much the showrunner, the man is a crazy person. He's an insane boy. He's actually kind of nuts. He's a harmless kind of nuts, but not really. He is a man of faith, and that comes out a lot in the seasons that he is involved in. And it is absolutely buck wild that anybody would think that anything that he is involved in is going to have those aspects of let's get back to critical thinking, let's get back to science, let's get blah, 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 blah. Because the seasons that he led were all predominantly about, spoilers, literally immaculate conception of...
And I guess it's just really comes down to how much he wants his finger on the scale of yet another revival, or whether he's just like, I want to check. But
no, he wants in.
Everyone has a price. Ryan Coogler is a much bigger creative name than Chris Carter. And I just feel like whatever the upper price is for Chris Carter's involvement, the guy that just did a successful feature film in the era where Chris Carter couldn't even get a feature film off the fucking ground that was filmable, that guy's influence is going to be excised from the X-Files at whatever the upper price is for this franchise to be redeemed.
That's what I thought, but it doesn't happen. It's insane.
Up to and including at this point, I'd rather the dipshits at Paramount, Disney, CBS, name your faceless mega corporation. I'm sure that they would at least have the sense to give that property to someone whose brain functioned and made sense, and not like seasons blank through blank of the X-Files, where the show just went down the hill, couldn't schedule, couldn't make a script, couldn't get anything out the door. We absolutely don't have to give it to Chris Carter and give all of his credit to Vince Gilligan or anything like that. Strike this guy from the record books and move on as a franchise.
I don't think we can while he's alive. This is my X-Files conspiracy, by the way. This is me with the strings on the board pointing at it. I don't think we can. I think there's something in how it was set up. Because remember, this was 1993. Fox was a new network. This, in a lot of ways, put the Fox network on the map, right? But
Married with Children was the show that put Fox on the map.
Well, and The Simpsons, right? But a lot of kind of counter stuff.
That is some revisionist history there. No, Married with Children was what put Fox on the map.
Okay. Thank you, Grandpa. Senator.
Well, sorry, I was alive.
There's multiple maps, okay? Alternative maps.
It's a cumulative.
Maps.
It's a cumulative thing.
Eagle-eyed fans of this show know that earlier in our run, we dropped the gauntlet. We called out AOC. And what I think now, Mr. President, if you are watching, it's time for intervention. Get down there, send in the guard, occupy that franchise, liberate the X-Files. And a lot of your base may get confused along the way. You'll get yourself out of a lot of hot water, I think, if you were to liberate the X-Files right now.
I do not endorse this position, FBI.
Can we also talk about how, in particular to this administration, clearly the worst thing they've ever done was just take the joy out of thinking about conspiracy theories, because as we mentioned,
No, what already happened by the time the X-Files was out. I think living in the South, all this stuff had a bit of a darker undertone than y'all might have heard it with.
Would Mulder have been climbing the walls on January? Where would Mulder have been on January 6th?
I have prepared for this.
That is the question.
I think there is one thing worse that this administration has done. Actually,
there might be. I really just kind of fly by night.
What's this one worse thing?
And in particular, there's one worse thing that I wanted to talk about today on the show. And let's head into the voting booth. Y'all ready to vote? Everybody ready? Everybody got your ballots ready? I know you Canadians, you're not used to these confusing American ballots.
I'm just going to take a nice big gulp while Kennedy says what this topic is. Hopefully it won't be anything too surprising.
I am saluting. I am saluting because while I recognize that y'all are going through a tough time right now, I think it's tough times that make tough people. And I think that if you all come together, e pluribus unum, I think that if you all come together as empathy, as empathic people, and as good people, and as the founders of democracy, I think you can have it again. So I am saluting, very saluting. There's an eagle in the background, and the American flag is waving gently in the breeze.
So the X-Files, probably the most famous files in the United States.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
But the second most famous files, I think, probably would have to be the Epstein files.
Huh. I've heard of those.
Which I think is probably one of the worst things, actually, that our administration has been involved in covering up.
But Kennedy, is it really that bad that the cover-up is so big that we're not getting a House representative officially, being able to do her job just to prevent the files from being released? Is that so bad that an elected House rep can't actually wrap her house?
Historical scandal.
Counterpoint. Number one, that can't be the worst thing that I'm assuming it's pretty bad. Everything's real bad.
Well, I'm not saying it's necessarily the worst. I was just saying it was one thing worse than what you had. I was just being theatrical.
That's a fair point. We don't do that here. If we could really just keep it grounded in reality.
I agree, though, that the worst thing about the Epstein files is it ruined The Expanse, which is a fantastic series. But Solomon Epstein, of course, invented the Epstein drive, which allows for planetary travel in The Expanse. But unfortunately, the name is now forever sullied by this real life event, and that's the true.
That's the
true.
And
let us not forget the real life New York State representative politician Harvey Epstein.
Yep.
Let us not forget Harvey Epstein.
Poor guy.
It's kind of like how the name Karen was like a perfectly beautiful female name before like the mid tens.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's going to name their kid Epstein or Hitler or, well, one of those actually probably popular in America right now. But anyway,
positive podcast.
What if there's somebody out there named Karen Epstein? If you're out there, I'd like to send you $5.
I would like to send you
owed emotional damages.
But is it kind of like mathematically speaking, because the X-Files science, right? Is it two negatives who cancel out and make a positive?
That's what we're doing today.
There is before we go, I have to say this. According to IMDb, there is a TV producer called Karen Epstein Israel.
Oh boy!
Look it up yourself. I don't know.
Oh, man.
That's just IMDb. Continue, but
I don't think we have to say anything else about that. But I wanted to explore today the idea of the X-Files and the greatest conspiracy of our current living moment. Right, this conspiracy that's unfolding right in front of us. This conspiracy that's actually not a conspiracy at all if you believe women, but well,
that's the thing, right? Like, is it really a conspiracy? Because they're just telling. That's why I said the worst thing that this administration has done clearly is just remove all the joy. There's a bunch of documents in his pooper palace,
I mean,
they're just there.
Think the whole conspiracy is who exactly is involved, right? Like, I believe a couple of months ago, somebody can fact check me or whatever, an ambassador from UK was canned because they found a connection to Epstein.
I mean, just assume everybody, you know? Like, I feel like we're harping on this way too much.
I think you should have to prove you're not connected to Epstein.
Yeah, you know what?
Net worth is over $10 million.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, kind
You know
of.
what? That's fair.
Like we're focusing in way too much. Like we are appropriately focusing in on these Epstein files. It's a little bit also like how he keeps going on whatever his social media thing is that I shall not name, and I shall not name him, for history will not be kind.
That's the truth, my social friend.
It's out there. X-Files.
I've got a few questions here today. I like us to get some votes in on a few different topics. I think, I think we could create. There's a lot of bad attempts at X-Files revivals. Now there is hope for a good X-Files revival. It's not necessarily a guarantee at this point, as we've kind of debated back and forth. But there is hope for a good X-Files revival. But I would like to argue that in this moment, where there are no good X-Files revivals, we could create a better X-Files revival. And that's what we're going to attempt to do right now. So I want to kick us off with kind of a softball to just get the juices flowing, so to speak. What vape flavor does the smoking man buy?
This is an audio format. You cannot see my face, but it is very happy right now because I have opinions on this too.
How do you have opinions on the vape flavor the smoking man buys? Only you this prepared. Are you Batman? You're Batman. Only Batman is this prepared.
Listen.
I'm listening.
If you think, I mean, it's a senator. If you'll forgive me, it's really rather an obvious question. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to not vape. I think he's going to not vape, and that's how you know that he's the bad guy, because all the children these days, they do the vapings. So it's like normal, and that's really how the corporations got us, man. Was that they tricked us into thinking that vaping was safer than cigarettes, and then we all got hooked on the cigarettes. So the not in the land where everybody smokes the not cigarettes, the not cigarette smoking man is king. So, but if you're looking for a real answer, I think green apple.
In the early 90s, smoking cigarettes was cool as shit.
Was it? Because I remember a lot of like the PBS PSAs.
Yeah, but we were just...
There's a reason they needed the PSAs.
They're starting to get that. Like, that was like the beginning of that movement.
That's fair. Is vaping cool, though? Because the thing about smoking a cigarette...
I think Mulder and Scully are vaping, and the
Mulder would
cigarette
vape.
smoking man is now.
Mulder would vape 100%.
Yeah, because Mulder.
Wait, no, the smoking man goes to the kava bar in the.
The smoking man like chews cot. Like it's got to be like old timey, old fashioned. He's just a tobacco chewing. He's the tobacco chewing boy.
He's got a corncob pipe now. He's going backwards.
The face of international conspiracy has aged.
Well, but you would also have to remember, because it's not 1990 anymore. We don't do like character archetypes. Everybody's got to be a hot anti-hero. So he is going to be like a 35-year-old former supermodel. Mm-hmm.
Y'all are going in the wrong direction. He's going 19
in the 35.
Ooh, I could see that. Like a boy king.
No.
I could see that.
Oh god.
No.
Like it.
But then you find out later, even though he appears to be 19 physically, he's 65.
What kind of anime bullshit is this?
Oh,
what kind of anime bullshit is this?
The man, spoilers, took a rocket to the face and he was fine.
Okay, that's the fun anime bullshit. That's the fun anime bullshit.
Spoilers.
I mean, I just want to counter with one possible casting note for cigarette smoking man that I think works. My pick for cigarette smoking man is Jonathan Groff, who is an actor. He played Agent Smith in The Matrix Resurrections. I think we cast him because he fits Abby's young hot.
Yeah.
And he's already taken over for somebody with an iconic performance.
That's true.
And done something that was kind of subpar, but it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault, no.
Afterwards.
No.
So I think he's the perfect choice. He's your new cigarette smoking man. He's sexy. He can vape if you need him to,
I do hate that, and I will be sleeping at my mother's tonight, but you're not wrong. We'll put it up on the brainstorming board. It's the worst idea I've ever heard, but it's also not the worst idea I've ever heard. You know what I mean? I like that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
why don't we? I think that's. What about that guy who played Morpheus? How about that, huh? Why don't we just get the entire cast?
He's already got
Matrix
himself a good gig
Resurrections?
now. We can't get him.
Yeah, we're gonna. No, I agree with. We should get all the Matrix Resurrections cast.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, to answer your question, Senator, green apple.
Why green apple?
It's the only flavor that I know that exists in a vape form. So because if I say something like cinnamon vanilla, there's going to be, because we all know that the vape enthusiasts, this is their place to come for pop culture knowledge.
Their number one podcast.
I mean, if you bring back the original cigarette smoking ban, the vape flavor is Stargate. First of all, that's the name of. It has to be the name of a vape flavor. I just imagine. I've seen all the crazy names. There's got to be one named Stargate somewhere, right?
Totally agree. Yeah, I'm with you.
Second of all, he was in Stargate, the television series.
Oh, who wasn't?
As a prior, because it's in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who's ever acted in Canada was in Stargate at some point. So I just think if you bring back the original actor, there's your flavor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So green apple.
It's canon now. We voted. Nobody else voted in opposition like that. The vote wins. The vote wins.
As a little sidebar, do you think the smoking man would have hid Epstein's crimes longer than Alan Dershowitz?
Yes, because the smoking man is evil. He once commented that he's the reason the Buffalo Bills don't win the Super Bowl.
That's true.
Which, as a human being who is a diehard Bills fan, is the worst thing you can do.
I do also like that William B. Davis, the actor who played the smoking man, had to go on, I think it was Twitter or Facebook or some old person social media, unlike Instagram, where the young, hot, hip people are like us. He had to go and like, hey, I'm taking the curse back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he took it back from the Bills, which was a nice gesture.
Mm-hmm.
They're still cursed,
but yeah,
you know.
Yeah. He's still alive. I mean, that's as long as he lives. The Buffalo Bills will never win a Super Bowl.
Oh, I wish he had told me that years ago.
Speaking of Bills and Epstein, Bill Clinton. Continue.
Yeah, no. I think that this is so beneath the cigarette smoking man. This is small potatoes. This is nothing. You know, he's got aliens, he's got colonization, he's got kind of a lot on his plate, you know? Like, he's gonna delegate this is part of his day, it's not his whole day, you know what I mean? Like, frankly, I think if the president is distracted, that just works to his benefit, right? Like, this is his kind of ultimate timeline where the FBI doesn't work at all, and you know, you can just sort of say you need money for anything and get it. This is really. Yeah,
I feel like the cigarette smoking man in the current climate would absolutely flourish because, you know, you could distract anybody in the current administration with a coloring book and a pencil crayon.
He's that young, hot anti-hero, and he's the bad guy, but is he? Because maybe he's the only one left fighting for democracy. I don't know. It writes itself, man.
Cigarette smoking man, you know, this is definitely under his purview, but he's delegating it away, and someone else is delegating it away to him. He does it. He's got, as was mentioned here, he's got a lot on his plate. It's not like he's rubbing his hands together looking to, you know, dig into those files. You know what I mean?
Okay, but wait. I'm gonna put a twist on this. Then what if it wasn't beneath him? Because what if the aliens were involved in some way?
What if Biden puts him on this in order to derail him or something? He's given this as a punishment. What does he do?
I thought you were going to say, what if the aliens were in the Epstein file?
Well, I was going to say, yeah, like, is that
aliens were on the island?
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Here's what I want to ask is what if the aliens were in the Epstein files? But here's what I want everybody to come up with.
Yeah.
Why are the aliens in the Epstein files, but it can't be that reason?
That's
Got
easy.
it.
They were transporting people.
Yeah, I mean
Save
that's
money on airfare.
Yeah,
you know, everything's
yeah.
expensive nowadays.
Yeah, I mean we can.
You know, we
put
saw
that
the
on the
price of
billboard.
airline.
No, it can't get out because the aliens are doing memory manipulation so that people can pass depositions.
The aliens are in the Epstein files because the Epstein files are so large and so well documented that much like the all those bills that are like 1,600 pages long, and there's one line in them that says like, "Hey, we're gonna cut healthcare for everybody," and nobody reads the full thing because there's like so much else worse in there. That's why the aliens are in the Epstein files. So there's gonna be like 14,000 pages of the most heinous atrocities that we as white people, presumably, can imagine against women and young girls and very possibly young men. I don't know. I'm just saying.
The Alien Project 2025.
There's going to be one line in there that's like, oh, also Roswell was totally real and it happened. But like, who's going to read all that, right? Now with AI.
The new X-Files has got to really tackle AI because the aliens should have it just based on the lore of the X-Files.
I think so. Listen, you can absolutely do X-Files conceptually today. There's a lot of cool, like, amazing tales of science fiction or horror that you can do. You can have a great sort of monster show with two people who are just like really kind of interested in hunting monsters and finding answers about that stuff. The problem is that is the X-Files, and that's what every show since the X-Files has done. But that's only half of the X-Files equation, right? The other half is the government is lying to the people. And it's like, yeah, we know. Like, that's not what reveal is this anymore?
Of course, the X-Files in a reboot would just have to respond to Supernatural, which was just 12 seasons made in its absence that covered all of these topics in its own fun-loving, action-packed kind of way. You know, if you think of all of these as survival horror, Supernatural might be like Resident Evil 5 or something like that.
What if X-Files, but the government is telling us the truth about everything, but we don't believe them?
They just need a strong creative vision. They just need, like, I bet if we got around a bar, you could all come up with a good X-Files take. It just can't be Chris Carter.
Well, I have opinions on that too.
It just can't be Chris Carter. I really like that take. I think that's one of our takeaways today. It just can't be Chris Carter. You guys, stop it.
And they've got to move on from, I know it's hard to move on from Gillian Anderson. You never want to say those words out loud, but time has passed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I
Also, to be fair, I don't think she'll want to be involved if it's...
No, she's real mad.
If Chris Carter's involved, I'm pretty sure.
First, they tried to lowball her.
Yeah.
They tried to offer her half the salary that they offered David Duchovny to come back for the revival. And she said no, and they said okay. Because they wanted to make it...
You don't even want Duchovny back at all.
No,
And Gillian will come back in season 3 if the show's really great. So just focus on making the show as good as you can make it.
I agree with you, though. The show or the X-Files conceptually can only exist now, in my humble, educated opinion, without Mulder and Scully. You got to just let it go. You got to let go of the whole, like, will they, won't they? Are they going to have relations and things like that? No. Listen, if I was in charge of the X-Files revival, and I will be, so help me God, Act 1, Scene 1, we are just in bed with our main characters, and they are having a fun time with each other. And then we get it out of the way.
Way to go.
Yeah, we get it out of the way, and then we can have, like, drama coming from other sources. You're looking at me like, oh, honey, you've said this a million times.
We even established right away that their relationship has been 100% cleared by HR, and that will never come up.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Counterpoint, the opening scene is set at the funeral of Mulder and Scully, and somebody says, man, with all the freaky stuff they investigated, could they be fakes? And then someone else at the funeral immediately speaks up and is like, no, made 100% sure, totally them. They're dead, never come back, no clones, nothing.
And then a couple of people with flamethrowers they wanted it to be like this, and then they just...
it could also be some sort of Junior Soprano scenario where they're allowed to do it because just all of the institutions have broken down, and then you can revisit it later when the plot really needs it. There's just a million ways to do it.
My favorite headcanon is, because I've been thinking about this a lot, because fanfic is the only thing that's been getting me through this administration. Strike that from the record, please. Strike that from the record. But I like the idea that the X-Files is actually like the most popular division at the FBI, because it absolutely. Are you kidding? You get to be paid. And FBI agents make a good living, or at least they did when I was looking to apply, because of the X-Files. Are you kidding? You get to be paid to have like this sick, cozy little basement office where we all live as basement gremlins and like investigate crimes and go out.
The agents competing to get assigned to the X-Files is such an incredible twist.
Yeah.
That you're hired right away.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's 3 good episodes to introduce the kid. Even if we take it slow, that everyone wants to be assigned to the X-Files is such a great plot device.
Why wouldn't you? You know, and especially because the thing that was the X-Files' saving grace was that nothing was like, we were starting to come online as a species and, you know, as a government institution, but you got to figure that those files were not digitized, right? So you couldn't just like be a guy in accounting and just get bored and look up go onto the database and just type in like ghosts or something, you know, like, what does the FBI have about ghosts? That's funny. Or like they have files on Louie. They have files on a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, like already.
The Secretary of State has admitted that there are UFOs.
Of course there are, because anything that's unidentified and also flying is going to be by definition a UFO, right? But I'm saying there's gonna be somebody who's just there doing a wiretap late at night, and it's just like, oh, I'm so bored, I want to read about something cool while also kind of pretending to do work. It's like the old kind of like doing something cool in Excel because you can't be like not working, but you're just so brain dead. He's going to go online, check the files for like werewolf or like Dracula or whatever. He's going to see that there's all these things, and then it's going to get around, and then it's going to be like, oh, they're not like, they're spooky and weird. Yes. But like, I want in.
Werewolf. I don't know. You had him last.
I want in. The X-Files would be the most popular division. It would franchise. You would have in every field office would have an X-Files guy who just takes all the crud cases that nobody else wants because they're real hard-nosed Republican policemen.
While y'all were workshopping that part, I came up with the perfect synthesis intro.
Mm.
2 main characters sucking, fucking, lots of vocal consent, BDSM. Really hardcore stuff. And then all of a sudden an alarm goes off on one of their phones and they go, oh shit, we're about to miss Fox Mulder's funeral.
and then it's like, listen, finish blowing me and then we'll get in the car. But who's blowing who? That's the thing.
History right there.
Yeah. And then
Can I ask a question?
Nope.
Okie
All right, fine. What's your question?
I don't have a question. I was being a little shit.
I knew it.
It was really more of a statement. Much like the opening scene of the X-Files.
What would be the goofy reason that Mulder would start investigating Jeffrey Epstein that's not the right reason?
You can dangle a set of keys in front of Mulder and he'll investigate it. That's the beauty of Mulder, is that he's...
I know, but we got to come up... we got to get him out.
Mulder wouldn't want to take on a case that took him to an island outside of the country. He really likes to keep it domestic. So this would have to be one of his weird personal missions, because Mulder doesn't usually, you know what I mean?
Mulder is an intrusive thought given form, much like Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character in Fleabag.
He could just be asked to go. Yeah, that's another thing. Someone could just ask him to look into it.
Literally, somebody's going to knock on his door at 4 a.m. and be like, if you want answers to the government, you're going to have to go all the way.
You want it.
I'd argue, based on the original X-Files The original X-Files series, based on that, pretty clearly somebody in Mulder's family has to be involved in the Epstein island.
Yeah.
Just because, like, Mulder's family is all over the X-Files. So, in theory, to get him involved, just like on the original show, all you got to do is throw a family member's name in there.
Okay, actually,
Here's
All
my
really
vote.
get up to stuff.
Here's my vote. I think that Mulder was originally investigating Hillary Clinton's emails, and it leads him to Epstein Island.
Didn't you talk about that in the X-Files opinions, where it was like we live in a world where Mulder and Scully would have to go out because a change.org petition got 10,000 signatures to investigate Pizzagate.
I said that, Mulder and Scully would have to investigate whatever.
It's the change.org petition that really sells it for me. Yeah, I think
Mulder and Scully have to investigate Stop Killing Games, and their entire job is to figure out how video games can stay online now.
No, that should be another part of our revivals pitch, and this is actually brilliant stuff. Is every episode starts with a change.org petition that reaches 10,000 signatures. That's where every story begins.
I don't want to buy. Hey, we're not Law and Order here. This is a prestige franchise. You might want to see a monster or something.
I watched the last two seasons of X-Files. It is not a prestige franchise.
We're telling people it's a prestige. Robert Patrick was on our show.
Oh God, he is the nicest human.
Not in the revival though.
No, but we're gonna get a Robert Patrick equivalent to be on the show now.
Agent Doggett died on the way back to his home planet, honey. That's what happened.
New cast, but we're gonna pretend that this is important.
Okay, wait. On the subject of getting Mulder involved, I actually had written this down. Who made Little St. James? The aliens?
What?
The smoking man / the syndicate? Mulder's dad somehow, or somebody else? Because I feel like one of these would get Mulder in, right?
What's Little St. James?
That's the island.
Oh, wow! You didn't even name it like Big St. James. Wow.
The answer that I really like the most is someone just walks up to Mulder that's vaguely acquainted with him and just asks him.
Yeah.
Word on the street. There's word on the street about this island, Mulder. And Mulder, maybe it could be the lone gunman or something like that. You know, I read this on Reddit. Aren't you in the FBI? Go check that out. And he'd just say, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I think we are also, because I'm presuming we're all sort of in our 30s or around that. I think we're all not thinking as the kids do these days, because really effectively the jangling keys that would get Mulder out would be like somebody shared a Facebook post,
a TikTok
video, like a Snapchat filter.
AI generated video.
Oh, he would fall for slop. He would fall for slop.
No.
I want to treat Mulder and I wouldn't really use Mulder and Scully, but I'd want the X-Files to have a little bit of a sliding scale. So, in time. So, but I would use some modern social media bits to get a laugh, and them seeing like an AI generated post and your skeptic character going, "That's Mulder, that's AI."
You could do that. I like this.
This is part of why you need hot, young, new characters for the reboot, because Fox Mulder cannot survive AI. He's done. He's cooked in the era of AI.
Kind of, a little bit, yeah. Have you seen Will Smith eating spaghetti?
No.
It's not a human way of eating spaghetti, Scully.
X-Files episodes start with Mulder being like, "Hey, check out this weird VHS tape I found, Scully."
Mulder's seen enough weird shit to know the difference between a real thing and an AI thing.
You would think so. Here's the thing.
He's not that. I mean, we're just going by not like Black Mirror. Like Fox Mulder's looking at VO3 just this week. He knows that's not real, right?
So here's the thing about the revival.
This is just David Duchovny's Mulder aged up. Like, this is just any take of him. He is in the FBI.
He's also.
You think everyone in the FBI can? Well, that's true, but I just assume
he's getting robocalled and he's sending iTunes gift cards to get Scully out of jail.
No, oh man, I hope not literally.
No. Like David Duchovny appears to have all his faculties intact. In fact, he just got married, so that's
No, I mean the character, not literally.
Oh,
Do we really think Fox Mulder, aged up, would really be just on the streets getting ragdolled by AI? You couldn't tell the difference.
So remember how like right-wing podcasters were the AI slop back around the time of the revival? Spoilers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we really got to talk about Chris Carter's weird right-wing sympathies, because that actually
Even
happened.
Chris Carter can tell the difference between a human and an AI, right?
No.
I don't know anymore. I don't know. Part of me wonders if he was ever on bypass and had some sort of stroke. Like I have medical concerns as an empathic human being.
25th Amendment as a fandom. We've got to just eject him from this role.
Yeah, but we can't, right? Because conspiracy, he just, his contract is so good, and it would cost too much money to do it. So they're just gonna wait. He's also 67. They're just gonna wait. They're just.
In fact, his contract is so good. If you suggest taking him off, he could sue you for $1,000 for each time. I should have warned you this earlier.
There's got to be someone in their prime that's willing to do. Amazon spent $300 million on Citadel. Chris Carter can't be worth that much. You know what I mean? The X-Files could have 2 spin-offs. It could be as good as The Boys in the right hands.
Funnily enough, Chris Carter had a series with Amazon. I forget what it was called. It was something like, it had to do with angels, I think, because he's a man of faith, and boy, is he going to tell you about it.
He looks like
they got canned after 1 season. It also got canned after Chris Carter said, like, yeah, I could see the show going on for 99 episodes, because he very famously will not answer a question. He will put in a cliffhanger, and it does not matter whether that cliffhanger makes sense. It doesn't matter if he's done that cliffhanger before. Spoilers for Immaculate Conception. It doesn't matter. He will do whatever it takes to clickbait you into giving him another season of television. And at a certain point, Fox said no. And Amazon, who some bright light at Amazon was able to look at the history of what went on with the X-Files and said, we need to cut this we got to cut this out right now. He's going to just make slop for us. So it's very funny that we are talking about this right now, because they literally tried. They gave him an opportunity. Literally, Amazon gave him the opportunity to make another show, and he sort of Chris Cartered all over it, and that's the reason he doesn't have a show anymore.
Yeah, the After 2014.
I'd rather watch my own films than Chris Carter. I'd rather watch just something that I made with a puppet than anything that Chris Carter makes, because you just feel a feeling of shame and dejection knowing that you're going to fall for it again with this guy that never has ever delivered anything to anybody that's ever watched anything he's ever made.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Get him out of there.
I wouldn't go that far. Which is weird, because he has written and directed the worst episodes of the series, but also like one of my personal favorites, which is Improbable from season 9. And it's like 2 different people made it, but it's the same guy. Like it's extraordinary. It's really something. The X-Files is so fascinating if you're interested in like media studies itself. It's really the gift that keeps on giving.
My mom used to love X-Files.
Yeah.
Won't even allow me to talk about the X-Files near her because she gets so mad at how that show went.
Yeah. It really kind of ruined the original show for me for a little while, but you got to just kind of, for me, what helped was digging into it and using that as a process of intellectual growth so that I could still get something out of it that wasn't just me being mad, shaking my fist at a cloud. So
I liked the reboot movie. There's like a one-off movie that was made after all the smoke cleared, and both of them remain on task for the whole movie. And it's, there's no real storyline endings, but it's just they were able to tolerate each other to do a feature-length episode. And I just consider that the end of the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just Chris Carter's fan fiction, and you know what? As a standalone, it's okay. It came out the same day as Step Brothers, and if you listen to our X-Files Opinions podcast, you can get my story of seeing that double feature. The key is to watch Step Brothers second, so that you have, your fun sort of time after that.
I guess that's fair.
But imagine a show like The X-Files that was the quality of The Boys or seasons 1 through 5 of Supernatural. The whole world would be happy about it.
Yeah, would it be X-Files, though, or would it just be Monster Hunters? Because The X-Files was so conspiracy-laden.
I think the cultural moment of The X-Files may have passed, and I don't love saying that, but I don't know. Talking about it like this today definitely begs a lot of questions about some of these things. Speaking of questions, we've only got so much more time left in this recording. There's a few more I'd like to get to. In particular, I would like to hear everybody's take on this one. Which X-Files episode monster could have most successfully assassinated Epstein? We know that there's a few minutes missing in the video file, so this is a creature that gets in quickly, commits this assassination, gets out. There's a
Perhaps
few
he squeezes through a vent.
Oh! I was already thinking of a certain fella.
Perhaps he squeezes through a vent.
I would like to defer my answer.
I think the obvious answer is Eugene Victor Toombs, who is he's a squishy boy, and he can squish through small spaces, and he eats livers, and he's blah, 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 don't like him, blah, creepy. I think the real answer is Krychek. Krychek or the cigarette smoking man. Like it's definitely a syndicate guy, right? It's the toothpick man with the toothpick plan.
No, cigarette smoking man's definitely passing the job off to somebody else.
Yeah. I like Krychek for it.
I do like
it
Krychek
depends
for
on
it.
whether or not I guess it depends on whether or not we are taking the revival as canon. Because there's a part of me that really wants to stir the pot and just throw an angry tiger into a room full of chickens and say Monica Reyes. Now that's interesting. That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut, Chris Carter. You had so much that you could have done with that character, boy. Agent Monica Reyes was a series lead that you have not heard of in seasons 9 because Chris Carter just sort of forgot that he was not writing for Mulder and Scully anymore. And then she has a very noble end, super noble, very good, almost as noble as Walter Skinner in the revival. Mm-hmm.
All right. So the real answer, by the way, is it was the from an episode we'd done because it was in the bottom 3 of X-Files, which is to say it is an amazing episode. Everybody should watch it. The real perpetrator was the vengeful spirit of a jaguar because someone within the administration knocked over its urn. And this burial urn is protected by the spirit of the jaguar, if you will. And so a group of cats, including the jaguar, did it.
This is a real thing that happened. This is not, by the way, we have opinions on this. This is not, by the way, the worst episode of the series. Not at all.
And it's able to recruit house cats, like just your average house cat, into its army.
It's the perfect.
And so, it was just a whole bunch of like little house cats and the spirit of a jaguar that did it.
I like it. Hire that man.
Yeah, and it's spirit of the cat jaguar. By the way, we're not talking about the spirit of the car.
Okay, nobody was driving a car.
The car from Viper, which was NBC's short-lived television series with a jaguar. No, this is actual cat.
I thought you were going to say that it was the AI Maitreya from First Person Shooter, who has ascended to the internet and now lives in all of our IoT devices, and that's why there's footage missing.
No, because if she had done it, there'd be a butt shot of her, just gratuitous butt shots on camera constantly. As we learned from that episode.
I've got one more take. Pusher.
Why I hardly even know her.
Ooh, he's dead, but is he? He's dead, but is he? He's dead, but is he? Did we just think that he was a dead boy? Ooh, I like that. I mean,
he could just walk into Epstein's cell, say, hang yourself, leave. Over, right?
Yeah, it's the perfect. He survived the end of Pusher, and because somebody after Mulder has his little breakdown moment, and it's very nice. While they're having their little moment, Mulder and Scully off, and they're holding hands. Somebody walks into the room and crouches down to Pusher, and Pusher opens one eye. He's just got a little thing that says "dead" on his chest that he's written in like Sharpie. And he opens one eye, and then somebody leans down, and it's the cigarette smoking man, and he says, "I want to talk to you about the Epstein initiative." And he's recruiting a team of monsters to like really control. It's like the Suicide Squad, but everybody has actual powers. So,
and also the name is a little more literal in a different way.
Little bit. Monster Squad. Yeah. No, hire those people. Hire those people. Yeah.
Yeah, so which has sketchy logs? The US Japan alien train or Epstein's plane?
I think Epstein's plane. Like not even as a joke.
Close
like,
though. Because like Krychek has definitely done things.
Krychek is in both.
Krychek's in both. That's
Krychek's
fair.
in both, but he's not like I gotta stand up for my boy Krychek. Like, yeah, he's a bad boy, but he's not like a bad. He's not like he's there to investigate the island. You know, he's there to get some leverage on people.
Just
he's not
because
there
you're a bad guy does not mean you are a bad guy.
I don't know.
Yes,
Krychek,
thank you. Like he's not there to diddle 14-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like there's an important distinction.
I wouldn't trust Krychek alone with a 14-year-old. I'll just put it.
I will fight you. I will fight you. Nick Lee is a delight. Nick Lee is a delight. He's super nice, very Canadian, and I love it when his Canadian accent comes out.
Well acted character. That doesn't make it that doesn't make the character himself. Krychek
No, it does. It does.
Some of the least trustworthy shit.
No, because Nick Lee's super cool though.
I think this is the defense people used on Epstein in the first place. All right.
Because Nick Lee's super cool. And I, as somebody who can distinguish between reality and fiction at this point.
I mean, what is reality and fiction nowadays?
Who else from the X-Files would be? Mulder would be on the flight logs once, but for some weird reason, right?
I think if you really, again, I'm throwing a hungry puma into a room full of chickens. I think if you really want to get into it, a member of the Scully family. Where is my writing contract? That's what I want to know, because I am giving all of these away for free. So just imagine what I'm keeping behind a paywall. I think a member of the Scully family, because they're all they're all Navy, they're all uphold the nation's honor, they're all military people. I think you could really, really mess with some people if Scully's dad was involved, or if her brother that everybody loves to hate, William Scully, was on there and really deep into it, or the brother they don't talk about, Charlie Scully. Why don't they talk about him?
Why don't they talk about him, indeed?
This is all free. Ryan Coogler, I am available.
Please take her.
Ryan Coogler, get in touch with our podcasts.
Yep,
we've got you.
I am not legally allowed to work in the United States without a visa. So it will be an arduous process.
That's why I'm the one that will be working. Wink. And it's not just Upnerd here giving me all the ideas and part of it. Wink.
Absolutely
wink.
Not. I am the true power behind the throne, but I like the cigarette smoking man, don't need the accolades. I actually do. I really super do. I need people to love me. I need people to love me.
I don't want people to pay attention to me, actually. Why do I have a podcast? You can take the attention. Let's take the show up to Canada.
It's where it started. The X-Files, that is.
The other direction, which real life figures tied into the Epstein case could you see being on the alien train? Like I could see Mike Johnson having been on the alien train.
You want to handle this one, honey? Because I got a couple of rapid fire ones.
I mean, I would assume that half of them are aliens at this point.
I mean, if you're telling me that Kennedy is not, The man has a worm in his brain.
RFK has probably eaten aliens. So
The worm is in control.
Saw the black goo and willingly just slurped it down.
Started scarfing it, swimming in it.
The thing about the black goo, though, is that it really counters the magnetic control that the COVID vaccine gives you. So you really want to make sure that you take it. And you also really want to get it from this website that is kennedysblackgoo.com. 3 payments of $19.99. You also get, and this is an incredible offer just for right
Black goo sounds a lot like ragu. Have we checked into the links between ragu sauce and just the black goo?
I honestly, I welcome the black goo at this point. I welcome it. You know what? The hive mind of whatever it is can't be doing much worse. It's got to be doing better than the tapeworm in his brain.
I've tried to sell Kennedy's black goo on Blue Sky, but Kennedy shut it down.
Oh.
Hey, listen.
It had too many preservatives in it. Your problem was bundling it in with the Tylenol. All that stock discount Tylenol that you bought from Myanmar. I mean, it was a great deal, but then you got to get rid of it, right? So
I'm going to say somebody on the Epstein files that I don't think would be on the alien list is Donald Trump. Because there's no way Donald Trump is going to see aliens and is going to be quiet about it, right?
that is why this administration, it's taken me about an hour to get here, but that is why this administration has really robbed all the joy out of like these stupid thought experiments about like, what if it's really the ghost of Abraham Lincoln who's in charge? They would just tell us about it. They would text a reporter about it in the same breath as they're like, yeah, we're gonna bomb Tasmania just for kicks. See, you know, you can't do something right now that involves the idea that there is competence behind the government.
Well, beyond 80s cartoon villain evil.
People used to say you couldn't do Dune. And it was always true that you could always do Dune. You just needed a courageous director. The X-Files is exactly the same thing. They just need a courageous mind to create this exact fictive universe that gets people involved in it.
You know what? I because it is, you're going to cough. Hang on. Go ahead. Cough. There you go. I presume we're on the same audio track. So, you know what? I am going to flip-flop, and I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to abandon all of my previous principles, and I'm going to say that, you know what? You could do X-Files today. You could do X-Files today. You need a creative mind, as you said, to get behind it. I am that creative mind. Ryan Coogler, call me. You won't even have to, you can just put your name on it. You won't have to do a lick of work. I don't want all that much money because the exchange rate is really quite favorable if I'm getting paid in US dollars. I'm willing to sell out. I'm willing to sell out for that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
You know what? I appreciate somebody who's honest about abandoning that. Go you.
I think because this podcast is the greatest election of all time, you didn't know it coming in, but I certainly did because I'm, always be selling, baby. You know, you always got to be doing that. I think when you get into that voting booth and you are voting, who should be in charge of the X-Files reboot? Abby. Canadian Abby.
You know, that's how we do polls here. If you're from Canada, we put Canadian Abby.
Our friends from the voting booth in the voting world, our voting lovers, will acknowledge that a claim is a type of election and can override almost anything in the right situation. So in this room, we're going to elect you by a claim as the secret director of the X-Files reboot.
Oh, that's wonderful and very unexpected. Thank you so much. My first move as secret director of the X-Files, though, is to get rid of that claim system. There also now all ballots will only be able to have Canadian Abby on them. We can have for now.
I feel like I voted
for now.
No, we need formal reform. This is why we put you in charge, Abby.
Well, and you're going to get it. So for now, you will still be allowed to vote. But keep in mind that voting is a privilege and not a right, you know, and if you guys don't behave and don't do exactly what I say.
So, like,
we're recovering from a madman, so we need order restored here.
You really need a mad woman. You know what I mean?
If instead of voting for you, I write somebody in, will I still keep my privileges for voting?
You will keep your privileges for voting. You will lose your privileges to be able to walk around freely. So it's kind of like, everything in life has truth and consequences. Yeah.
I love democracy.
No.
I love it too.
I hope this doesn't have any bad consequences.
I don't think it will. Can I see you real quick in my office, please?
Final vote of the day. Final democracy of the day. Is the black goo what's on J.K. Rowling's walls, and that's what's making her act like this?
Oh,
Clearly.
Oh, I forgot about What is with these weird right-wing, anti-progressive people having
The black goo hates rights, though. We saw it. It controls.
having parasites,
by definition, it hates rights in general and autonomy.
fungus
It's too perfect
in
if
their
anything.
lives? That is an excellent question. That's an excellent question. I don't think the black goo would want to go anywhere near J.K. Rowling, to be perfectly honest. Because you got to get all up in their brains, and I think, you know what, you got to give her props for creating something that really inspired a lot of people, and then you have to take away that props for having a Twitter account that really inspired a lot of people to do the opposite of like use their imagination and
I think
have a
saying that
magic
it's
world.
an insult to affiliate her with any intelligent life is enough of a strong statement on the black goo.
I like that. The black goo, it's really just an animal. It's not evil. It's not making the choice to make somebody's life that it doesn't know just that little bit worse for really no reason, because there is no more comfortable life than J.K. Rowling's right now. Yeah.
Right. We've given that enough springtime.
Yeah, that's it for this episode. This has been quite the wild ride of an episode.
Believe woman.
Put in some unexpected directions. Thank you, everyone, for voting with us. Upnerd Abby and Upnerd Mystery Person.
The uneven flow.
The uneven flow. It's been great to have both of you voting with us. It's been great, everyone at home, to have you voting along with us as always. My brain is burning out. I'm out of neurons. I want to believe women. Let's get any plugs in that folks want to get in. Remind everybody, where do they find your lovely show about television and movies and other things and varieties of things?
It started out like that, which is why we called it Upnerd, but now it's really just kind of become kind of thing, like it's Upnerd in the sense that a nerd will just really hyperfixate on something. You need a cough drop, sir. Mm-hmm. At least you're not burping into the microphone like at the end of our X-Files episode.
Drop, and you need a cough drop. Everybody
no, the
gets
uneven
a cough
flow's
drop.
been you're right there, honey.
I'll live.
There you go.
It's just a show about like nerding out over stuff, really.
So we started out like with Highlander. We're really sort of looking for the positives in everything because there's enough negativity in the world. And I have certainly found over the course of 100 episodes and 2 years and stuff like that it's really changed the way that I approach things, and I find that I'm a much happier person because I'm trying to look for the positive instead of sort of the riff on everything. That's just awful. So what I'm saying is, if you want to be a happier person, you should definitely listen to the Upnerd Podcast Network, and you can find us at Upnerd Podcasts with an S, because it's plural, because somebody else has the singular form at gmail.com. All one word.
Email us there. You can listen to us, upnerdpodcasts.captivate.fm. It's actually just upnerd.captivate.fm, but either works. You can find our actual show there. We're on YouTube in video format. And yeah, it's just all about enjoying things. Why would I watch something if I hate it?
You know what? Like that, I say several times. You made me a number of times. We really found a lot of joy in that, though. Like there was a lot of fun being had by people. The sets were great. All that fun.
There's stuff we watched that we didn't necessarily like.
Yeah,
but it led to good discussion that we enjoyed.
So if you want to be happier in your life, send $19.99 to Upnerd Podcasts.
Speaking of things that bring me joy, it brought me joy having you two on this podcast.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you. was good doing it. I welcome the opportunity to correct everybody's Star Trek opinions when you have them on. As King Star Trek dork, but
yeah, no, we are fans. We are fans. I like the Simpsons episode in particular.
Thank you.
Of course, this episode will of course be your highest scoring episode on IMDb, which is always correct. Yeah, no, we'd
Siskel and Ebert have promised to tune into this one.
Yeah, start thinking about, I don't know, maybe movies that you like or TV shows that you would say want to make somebody watch the top 3 episodes and the bottom 3 episodes of and discuss. Because we had a lot of fun here and we appreciate it.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, no, and voters at home, definitely go check out their show. Shows. It is very good stuff. I haven't listened to a ton yet, but I started checking y'all out leading up to this, and it was really fun. And you have just, lovely voices and fun personalities, and you make great jokes. And I like the
Canadian A.
That's it's that Canadian charm every time.
We just got off the rink, and then the igloo keeps us warm here. Hey, and
there's a Law and Order Toronto, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did Law and Order.
Listen to that episode.
We did Law and Order Criminal Intent Toronto.
Oh God, it's
which,
so
like, if you want Canadiana, man, watch an American institution really be Canadaized.
Not really
on television. It is.
This does
it's
not
amazing.
spark joy. This does not spark joy.
You wouldn't think so, but it's like kind of become our we got to just zone out and watch this.
It's actually quite comforting. It's so weird.
It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, just like this podcast. It's funny how things.
We're never gonna end. You're stuck here forever.
I think we're at the end of this show. I want to go. I want to get out of here. Voters at home, vote for our show.
Vote while you still can. Vote while I allow it.
Sky, vote for the things that are good in this world, and go vote for your cats today. Okay, bye.
Bye, 3 ever.